Good morning or good afternoon. Adam Flynn here. Lucky today to be joined by Adrian Goegan. And now Train, his nickname's Train. We've been mates for a very, very long time, about 25 years. And we're going to have an interview today just in regards to his background to date. He's had some enormous results in a relatively short period of time. And I just want to get some insights from Adrian's perspective with respect to the market and what it takes to be a good agent, in changing times, which we've seen with the pandemic and so forth. So, Train, thanks for joining us here today.
Pleasure, mate.
So, a bit of a rundown. What's your real estate background to date? And maybe I reckon even just touching on what you were doing before real estate,
Yep.
and then how long in real estate so far.
Well, we go back. Well, let's start from real estate.
Yep.
6 years now. Did we start training 7 years ago together?
About that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was the top of Boronia, the Boronia office. You, me, 3 other mates.
Yeah.
We all sat down together and went through ways to the $1 Million Agent system back then. So it was that's where it kind of kicked off.
Yep.
Didn't get straight into it. So there's a lot of umming and ahhing when you're coming from where I was to where this was going to take us.
Yep.
And like you said, there was 4 other mates there that night, and only one of us jumped on.
Yeah.
So there was a big career shift for me. I was in printing. I'd been in printing for 20 years.
Yep.
So it was like, well, I was pretty comfortable in my job, my role.
Yep.
So I was experienced. I knew nothing else. So, and beyond that, I was in property development.
Yep.
Obviously, I went through a long stage of developing land, which I did like at 23 years old, the father and myself, we did a 16-lot subdivision into a 20-lot subdivision in rural Victoria, and I was in the process of selling that as well. So I had a fair bit of real estate knowledge, but I had management knowledge, and I suppose that's very important in real estate leading forward to where we got to today.
Yeah, sure. So, and your background. I mean, you had an understanding as to real estate, given your experience with property development and so forth. And I know you've always had a love, just a genuine love.
Do you know, most people have a love for real estate. Not many people you talk to, as soon as you say I'm a real estate agent, they're like, oh, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get anyone that doesn't.
Yeah.
It's very, everybody loves real estate. So beyond that, look, I had experience in real estate, so I suppose that was better for me, that I understood what a contract was. I understood what a Section 32 was.
Yeah.
I understood how to subdivide land. I had feasibility, all that. So I knew all that. So when I stepped into our area, there was a fair bit of development happening.
Yeah.
So developers would talk to me and go, well, what this? And I gave them more than they gave me.
Yeah.
So obviously sealed a lot of deals that way. But then beyond that, getting to know residential sales and all that was, well, it just seemed simple to me.
Sure.
Yep.
So coming from in the previous network, you're one of the top agents, and we're now with our new network, and 1 month in, you've already established yourself, which is a national brand, as one of the top agents inside that network.
Yep.
So the last 12 months has been interesting times with the...
It has, your lockdown times.
Yeah. But your results have just gone from strength to strength, essentially. You've been very, very strong in a time where other agents may have, dropped the ball, so to speak, or just thought it might have been not impossible, but just, thought, oh no, I'm going to, put things to bed right now and I'll reset once everything sort of kicks off again, where you've just gone full on the whole time. So what are some of the initiatives that you have been doing during
the lockdown? Well, I got out of bed. For starters, like a lot of agents didn't get out of bed. So I had routine. Like I was up at 6 a.m. I was still working out in the morning. I'd get on the phones at 9 a.m. I'd talk to people. I had a database to nurture. I kept nurturing it. And they're like, oh, what do I do, Adrian? And people believe you when you're up and about and you're talking to them about the market. We were selling to people sight unseen. So I sold multiple homes without anyone seeing them.
Right.
And then the last couple of months have been catching up with those buyers to show them the properties they've bought.
Has it all been going okay so far?
Well, like you said to them, I said, do you like the property? And they go, yeah, too bad if you didn't.
Yeah. Well, the market's probably jumped another 10% since
it's gotten stronger. So like it's ultimately it's getting yourself moving.
That's
what it was. And we have we were just talking about, we've got a strong database.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to pick up the phone and talk to people.
And just get into it.
So it's, mate, whether the laptop's in the office or the laptop's at home,
yeah,
the database is there in front of you.
Yeah.
You can choose to pick up the phone and call it.
Yeah.
Or you can stay in bed.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
So routine and just getting on with it.
Just moving forward.
Yeah.
And there's deals to be made.
So on that, what do you think, which is probably not a bad segue, as far as being a successful agent goes, what do you think are some of the character traits that you've seen that an agent really needs to have to be successful in the field?
Well, we'll go back to the start. There's structure.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have structure. If you don't have structure, everything's a mess. And, and you'll miss things.
Yeah.
So if you're missing, this morning I had a phone call to someone who I've been dealing with for 6 months.
Yep.
And I've stayed in touch with them for that 6 months.
Sure.
And he had a call this morning just to catch up and have a chat about things. And
yep.
if I had just not called him for 6 months,
yeah,
he wouldn't have called me.
Yeah.
They just, it comes to you as long as you're nurturing them.
Yeah, sure.
So it's there. Databases are great to work.
Yeah.
But if you don't work them,
you
get forgotten about.
Yeah.
You become irrelevant.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Structure is very important.
Yep.
Personality is obviously important in real estate.
Yep.
And if people don't like you, they're not going to call you back.
Yep.
So you've got to think you're on show all the time. So we do open homes. I'm on show at open homes. I go into the living rooms. I'm on show in the living room. So everything you're on show. So you got to be you got to have energy.
Yep.
You got to portray that good energy to people.
Yeah.
And that's very important. And then let's segue to your $1 million agent system. All this structure kind of flows into that.
Yeah, sure.
So you leave a lasting impression through this listing presentation, people are going to call you back.
Yeah. So with regards to your market, just Adrian's based in the city of Knox at the Boronia office, Coronis, Boronia. So just give the viewers a little bit of information about the market that you work in. So average selling price.
I suppose the market I work in, Boronia, it's a good first home buyer market.
Yep.
And it's a good second home buyer market.
Yep.
And then again, development, all that. So it's got a bit of everything.
Yep.
So we got 2-bedroom townhouse, which is ridiculous to even think that they sell for this much now. But the one that I just sold on Rosella Avenue for $665,000.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's a 2-bedroom attached townhouse. That's the first home buyer market now.
Yeah.
2-bedroom units are worth 600 plus now.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable.
So for an entry level 3-bedroom house on, let's say, 650 square meters, what's
800 above.
800 above. Yeah.
800 plus. You're into the nines now for 3-1s.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think, on 700 square meters. And then your development sites are $1 million plus. So if you can get 3 sites in Boronia now, you're talking $950 to $1,050 to buy that.
Yeah, gotcha. And I guess over the court, like everywhere, which is surprising, but the market has just kept going up and up. What do you think what are your predictions like going into 2022? What do you think's going to happen with the market?
Predictions. Look, and it's hard to predict because who predicted where we are today from 6 months ago?
Yeah.
So if I was to wind the clock back and somebody asked me this question February this year, I would have been wrong.
Yeah.
Completely wrong.
Yeah. Ditto.
And the same question gets asked now, where do you see it in March, April next year?
Yeah.
Well, if it continues on the scope it's going on now, then it's going to be hotter and hotter and hotter.
Yeah.
Like Sunday, I did the open in Ferntree Gully and we had 35 groups go through.
Yeah, gotcha.
Chaos.
Yeah.
So those buyers are still out there and there's a lack of stock out there.
Yeah.
And interest rates are holding, so there's no reason why the market can't continually climb.
Yeah.
But, as I said, it's all predictions.
So for a young, just before you mentioned structure, hard work, making sure that you're getting up and doing something.
Yeah.
Training, they're all important aspects of somebody who's wanting to be successful in real estate. One of the things I was talking to Adrian about a few days ago was that I think that going back 5 years ago, there was a heap of people that joined the industry, and then a lot of those people have fizzled out. And I think it's going to become a very specialised industry whereby the good people will do really, really well, and the others just won't be able to necessarily compete, so to speak. So for any young, when I say young, I don't mean necessarily young in age, but any fresh agent,
Upstarters.
coming into the field, for the first 2 years, what would be your biggest advice to those people on what they really need to focus on in that first couple of years? Because that first couple of years is the hardest.
Well, the first couple of years, you're basically building your database.
Yep.
So creating contacts.
Yep.
Which is very important. So, like I said to Matty now, who's working alongside me and learning his craft and building himself up. I said, mate, when I first started in real estate, I was on the phone from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I just went off a call list and went bang, 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 and by the end of the day, my face and my ears were red, burning.
Yeah.
But I was still working it. And
Yeah.
And that's paying me back now.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Yep.
Door knocking, obviously, a bit harder at the moment with COVID and all the rest of it, so it's something you can't do as much.
Yep.
Drop your area, get your name out there,
Yep.
which is very big, and practice.
Yeah.
Practice your presentation.
Yeah.
Get it 100% because you got time to do that.
Yeah.
And it will make a difference.
So with different agents who are successful, I find that there's, in regards to where their appraisals and so forth come from, there's different. The listing presentation is one thing, but different agents have different ways of generating appraisals. So what I've observed with your growth is that a lot of your appraisals are warm contacts, they're referrals. So it's somebody who's, because if you're in front of somebody who's thinking of selling, you'll rarely miss. Yep. So I guess from building that business up, from what I've seen, it seems to be a lot of warmer contacts, referral business, people that you've spoke to sort of 4 or 5 months ago did an appraisal, and then you're just whether you list it at that point in time or 4 or 5 months later, you're just their agent. Yep. So have you got a particular methodology that you adapt, that once you do an appraisal and then you don't list it there on the spot, have you got a set routine of what happens after that? Is it purely simple, just keeping in contact, or have you got sort of a system in that space?
I don't so much have a system.
Yep.
But I've got a list that I keep close to me.
Yep.
So I know when it's time.
Your chase list.
If I haven't, chase list.
Yep.
I know when it's time to get back in contact.
Yep.
And whether it's a quick SMS, it takes me no time at all to flick across, or it's a phone call.
Yep.
Or it's funny because a lot of the time they're calling me.
They're
staying in touch with me as well.
Yeah.
So it's not just me chasing all the time. They're calling me back.
So is it fair to say, based on what you've just said, that the communication that you then make with them after you do that appraisal is intelligent communication, in a sense where you adapt to that person's personality and decide what communication you make? So for example, someone who's flat out busy, it might be a text message.
Yeah, I'm low pressure.
Yeah.
So I'm not one of these pushy agents that comes across calling them like the next day.
Yeah.
So I do give them a week, and often I give them that week.
Yep.
And they've called me back inside that.
Yeah, sure.
So it works really well for me.
Yeah.
And the other, and often the comment is, the other agent's been pushing me every second day.
Yeah.
You let me to my time, because I asked them on the spot.
Yeah.
I said, when do you want me to call you back?
Yeah, sure.
And they always say, give me a week.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
Yeah, gotcha.
Because I know if it was me,
you
need to compute things.
Yeah.
And I've got no worries about them computing who I am.
Yeah.
That's how I do it. But everyone's different.
Yeah.
So some agents are very pushy.
Yeah.
Which can lose business.
Yeah.
Then other agents like myself are pretty relaxed and building rapport with people.
Yeah.
And that's probably the difference.
Yeah, gotcha. So your plans for, you've had a bumper month last month. Sold 10 properties and wrote well in excess of 100k in GCI.
Yep.
So in regards to 2022, what are your plans? What are your goals in regards to?
There's shifting goals at the moment, because I want to see us as a group succeed.
Yep.
So it's not just all about me for 2022.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Again, stepping up as sales manager.
Yep.
I want to build a team. I want to see them succeed.
Yep.
So there's a bit of that as well.
Yep.
At the same time, I want to be able to succeed, achieve my goals.
Sure.
So I want to set myself some good targets, like 6 monthly targets that I'll no doubt hit.
Yep.
And like all going well, we can get towards that $1 million mark.
Yep.
as we discussed ourselves, that we can actually get the team to get to that $2 million mark by year's end.
Yep.
So we've got our targets set.
Yep.
Let's see if we can hit them, which I think we will. But yeah, overall, like getting this new business off the ground is very important.
Yeah.
And that'll lead to our success.
Yeah, 100%. Have you got any, I know we've discussed this sort of briefly as well, but for the viewers, have you got any thoughts about possibly bringing on an assistant? With an assistant, it's hard to find the right person because you've got to, sometimes you can invest a lot of time in someone, and then when it doesn't work, you got to sort of start all over again. So there can sometimes be this mindset of, and correct me if I'm wrong, where it's like, shit, you know, I've gone through all that bullshit before.
Yeah.
It just...
Oh, mate, I've been through that.
Yes. So...
Many times.
Yeah. So have you... Is that still...
I have got thoughts of getting an assistant on.
Yep.
Obviously, we're training the team as well as that.
Sure.
So it's going to be a tricky one to do it all in the same space.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could find someone who was fantastic, you could just leave to their own. Awesome.
Yeah.
Come join me.
Yeah. So the thought process is that, the short answer is yes, but it certainly needs to be the right fit. And as a business, I mean, you know, that's what we're looking for at the moment anyway. It's a different mindset to what it was going back 5 years ago, where there's a lot of people coming on, where we want to find the right people.
Do you know, at the same time, you look at writing figures and where we are writing these big numbers.
Yep.
And like, if your systems are in place, you can do it right. You can succeed.
Yeah.
On your own.
We've
proven that.
Yeah.
What the ultimate goal for us is to get this extra help and double that.
Yeah, sure.
Double and triple that.
Yeah.
So if we can get to that stage where it's all flowing really well, which it is at the moment,
and
early next year it'll continue to do that. If I can find someone to assist me in making that double and triple, great.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm not going to take a backward step and find 2 or 3 people that can't do the right things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So big takeaways is essentially A-Train's business has been pandemic proof. So still riding big figures during lockdowns. Big takeaways is structure, need to have structure, and in regards to, I think it's closely aligned with routine. So although there wasn't, there was, you know, we'd gone into lockdown, but the routine stayed the same. So morning call sessions, you know, just in regards to making sure there was daily tasks that were executed each and every single day. Training, making sure that you've got a well-oiled listing presentation. We're actually seeing somebody, you know what to do and have it on a scenario.
Do you know, I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I walk out of a listing pres and I've gone through the steps, everything they need to know about selling their home.
Yeah.
And they go through and always get a call back and I go, how did we go? And they go, oh, you're fantastic. The other guys were hopeless.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. Like, you're only outshining your competition, and that's ultimately what you're doing. And this is what the structure does. It means you sit down, it's flawless. It flows. You walk away, and the other parties have done nothing. They've walked down, they've stumbled with their pen and paper and writing. They've done nothing right.
Yeah.
So you walk away going, well, that was pretty easy.
Yeah.
That's how you win business. Yeah.
Well, you've done an amazing job in 6 years, and you're only just getting started. You know, you're sort of getting into second gear, so to speak. So, Train, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it. And not only myself, I'm obviously really proud of what you've achieved, but it's going to be exciting to watch what you're able to achieve, not only next year, but in the years come. So thank you for watching, and thank you for your time today.
Pleasure.
And we'll see you all next time. Cheers.